Well, good morning, everybody, or good day, wherever you are in the world. I'm Judi Glova, and for the past 16 years, I've been an executive coach and an expert in intuitive leadership, and I'm also a facilitator of the Sedona Method. And I'm going to be leading the call today. And today is February 3rd, 2021. So I want to welcome you to this release and recharge call. And not only are we going to be doing a group release as well as opening it up to questions, but I'm also going to be adding time at the end that if there's any coaching that you'd like to have, we can actually do a combo of a release as well as any types of coaching topics that you may have, maybe related to your career or other things that are going on in your life. So I just wanted to set the stage for today. And before we start with the group release, if you are new to releasing, basically it's just an understanding that I'm going to be asking you questions, and releasing is literally just deciding very easily to say yes or no. So I always love to use the example of, if you're cleaning out your closet or you're cleaning out your refrigerator and it's time to throw something away, it's literally that easy of making that decision of, do I keep it or do I toss it? And allowing yourself just to have that ease and grace when it comes to releasing. So I also like to remind people too that when I ask you these questions, it truly is not a command. I'm going to be asking you if you could welcome something, or if you could notice something, or if you could allow something. And really, the answer is just your choice. It's a really simple, effortless type of choice. So if you feel like you're efforting or you're overthinking it, you're probably in your head. And try to move your consciousness down to your heart. And it's also similar if you feel like you're efforting, allow yourself to put your hands on your heart and literally just open up your hands, open up your arms wide, like you are just opening up your heart. So that also helps anybody that, if you're starting releasing for the first time, it gives you a sense of what it feels like to just release and let go. So now let's start the group release. And allow yourself to just be and stop and just be who you are. And could you allow yourself to think of a time in your life where you were happy? And notice, as you think of that happy thought, notice that when you think of it, where does it originate from? Chances are the feeling of happiness arises from within you. Even when external circumstances seem to be pushing us or pulling us, we can realize that you are the source. So again, allow yourself to think of a time in your life where you were so happy. And notice, as you think of it, what comes up for you. What images, what sensations, what sounds. Just notice what's present for you now. And notice, where does that come from? Because that feeling is coming from you and arises within you, you must be the source. So welcome that happiness into all that you are. And could you do that even more? Could you allow that happiness into your consciousness? Notice that there's more happiness because that is truly the truth of who you are. So, could you do that even more? And notice as best you can that you are that. You can generate it for no reason right now. Allow yourself to experience that feeling of happiness, that inner joy coursing through your body. And allow that happiness even more. And as spiritual beings having a human experience, we tend to have it backwards. We tend to think that something outside of us has to change in order for there to be happiness. But instead, you can actually realize you are the generator. You can choose to stop postponing happiness. So, why not now? So, let's dig a little bit deeper. In this moment, what is happiness? And if it's even more than that, what is happiness? And if it's even deeper and wider than that, what is happiness? And beyond even that, what is happiness? Now let's even take it a little deeper. Allow yourself to just sink in and notice, what is the source of happiness? From what does it arise? In what is it contained? And to what does happiness return? And can you allow yourself to just allow every atom, every cell, every tissue in your body from head to toe be filled with that light of joy and happiness throughout your entire body? And can you allow that self illuminating light to shine and radiate through your body and lighting up the room? Just allow your light to expand and grow. And can you allow your light to fill the entire room? That light of joy and happiness, like a gold shimmering white light that is so brilliant and radiant. And can you allow that light that shines from within you to expand even further, just as best you can, out into the world? And can you just simply be that joy and happiness that you are? And can you just rest as that happiness and joy? And just be it. Be the truth of who you are. Okay, great. So, with that group release, I also want to open it up to any assistance, any questions, any comments, and also open it up to any coaching that you may want to have for something that's happening in your business, in your life, in your relationships. So, I invite you to go into the chat box and ask any questions, and you can just type them in there and I'll respond. Just remember to hit return so that it actually pops up and so that it distributes to everyone on the call. So while you're doing that, I just also want to remind you that during the month of February, I'm actually offering a clear path forward session. So what that is, it is a combination, it's a coaching session, 45 minutes that I combine releasing with coaching because I have found that this year, especially, people are getting, beyond their New Year's resolutions and they're realizing that there's some goals that they really want to address this year. And it goes beyond those initial just thoughts about, oh yeah, these are my, New Year's resolutions. I think the resolutions have probably passed us by. And now it's time to really get focused. So that's why I'm going to be offering these 45-minute sessions. They're $97 each, and you'll be able to register by going to bit.ly/clear path 45. So it's bit.ly/clear path 45, and it's going to be available until February 28th. So with that said, I do want to check the chat box and see if there's any questions, any comments. Rebecca, I see you're here. Hi, how are you? Is there anything specific that you want to address today? Okay. And I see on my screen that there's a few other people, but your phone numbers, so I can't see your names. I'm not sure. Okay. So, Rebecca, how about if I unmute you and we can just kind of explore how you're doing and what's present for you now? Sound good? All right. So I'm going to ask to unmute you. Rebecca, are you there? You can't talk. Okay. Well, then you can always send me a question. Is there a question that you have, or is there something that you would like to request a release for? Oh, it's new to you. Oh, well, great. Well, welcome to the Release and Recharge support call. So basically, the opportunity is for you to just ask for any support. Maybe if you're feeling anxious about something, or if you're having a challenge at work, or there's something that is getting in your way. Maybe it's a limiting belief. Yeah, the opportunity is yours to be able to just ask any question. It could even be just a question about releasing. Maybe you had an experience during the guided meditation and there's something specific that you'd like to ask a question about. Okay, so you're asking what is the Sedona method? So the Sedona method is actually an opportunity, it's a method to be able to let go. A lot of us have the habit of taking a lot of our thoughts and feelings and really suppressing them throughout the day. And it creates that heaviness. So I always like to talk about the Sedona method in the terms of three hooks. So, 7 billion people on the planet, we have this habit of getting stuck in our emotions and our thoughts. And the three hooks include, the first hook is that we tell ourselves a story. So whenever we have an upset, I like to think of it as the upset because kind of challenge that comes up in our lives. And throughout our day, we probably have about I think research has said we have like 80,000 thoughts. Now, I have no idea who the person was that actually did the research that said we had 80,000 thoughts a day, but the average person supposedly has 80,000 thoughts a day. At the end of the day, we tend to have like two or three things that kind of nag at us at the end of the day that we can't seem to let go of. So those are our triggers, and those tend to trigger our stories, and it triggers the thoughts and the feelings that tend to swim around or spin around in our thoughts. And you said I've done most of that before breakfast. Rebecca, that's awesome. Great. So you can identify that there's some things that tend to kind of spin around in your head. So that's what we mean by the first hook, which is that there's a story that you're telling yourself. Now, the second hook to this is that generally we want to change it, we want to fix it, we want to do something with it or about it because we don't like what is. So that's the second hook. So first we have those first we have the story, we have a memory, we have something that's happened in the past. Then we want to change it, fix it, figure it out, make it different, push it away or hold it close. Or sometimes we just want to push it down and just pretend it doesn't even exist. So the third hook is that we take it personally. We somehow identify with that problem as it being ours. And it's that final hook, that sense of it's my problem, it's always happening to me, oh that's my story, oh that's my pattern. That's the third hook. So typically, when we do the Sedona method, what we're trying to do is really support you in being able to let go of those three hooks. Those three very common hooks. Again, 7 billion people in the planet on the planet, we all do it. And it's just a matter of supporting you, not only to help you release, but also teaching you how to do it for yourself. Because I truly believe what's so amazing about the Sedona method is it's so simple. And it's also something that you can learn to do for yourself. So, does that make sense, Rebecca? Oh, the sound cut out. Okay, where did it cut out? Oh, okay. So it cut out from the point when I talked about 7 billion people. All right. So, did you get the part about all three hooks? Okay. All right. So, 7 billion people on the planet. We all have this tendency to get stuck with these three hooks. This is what puts us in a spin, and it gets us stuck in those thoughts. So the first one is that we tell ourselves a story and we believe it, and it's something that's happened from the past. So it could be a conclusion that we've made about ourselves, it's a judgment, it's some kind of negative belief, maybe a limiting belief that we have about ourselves, but it's a story that we tell about ourselves. Okay, so the first hook is the story. Did you hear that one? Oh my gosh, it's cutting out. Hmm, because on my end, it's showing that my microphone is working. Are you accessing from a computer or from a phone? Okay, so it looks like you're logging back in. Are you back in? Hi, Rebecca. Can you hear me now? Hi, Rebecca. Can you hear me now? Okay, can you hear me? Okay, so Rebecca, thank you so much for that question. I'm so glad that I had an opportunity just to kind of explain to you a little bit about the basics of the Sedona method because chances are you're not alone. You're probably one of many people that are on the call right now that are new to the Sedona method. So I do want to also open it up if there's anybody else that has any questions, any requests for assistance. Okay, I see. Okay, hi Tony. Hi, how are you? Good to see you. And you would like a group release on feeling anxious. Okay, you've got a new job interview coming up and you're feeling anxious. Okay. So, all right, we can totally do a group release on that, Tony. Thanks for the request. All right, so let's all just allow ourselves to just be and just allow yourself to be fully present and just be who you are. And can you allow yourself to notice any sense of anxiety, any sense of worry, any concern you have about the future, whether it's a job interview or whether it's a difficult conversation, or maybe something else is coming up in the future? Can you notice that sense of anticipation? Can you just allow that anticipation to be here now? And can you notice any sense of anxiety, any sense within your body, any sounds, any pictures? Can you just allow those to be present as best you can? And can you allow yourself to notice any conclusions that you've made about yourself or others regarding this event that's going to be happening in the future? Can you just be present with that feeling as best you can? And can you notice where that sense of anxiety is actually residing within your body? And notice if it has a color or a shape, a texture, or even a temperature. Can you just allow those feelings of anxiety just to be present with them, just to sit with them? Can you just allow yourself to sit with those feelings, those sensations, kind of like sit next to them like it's a friend? Just allow them to be there as best you can. And would it be okay if you allowed yourself to just fill that space with a sense of safety or security? Just allow yourself to give yourself what it is that you really want right now, just as best you can, just for the moment. And can you allow yourself to notice any sense of wanting to do something with or about that feeling, wanting to push it away or wanting to hold it close, wanting to figure it out, wanting to fix it? Can you just notice that as best you can? Now, can you allow yourself to notice any sense that that anxiety feels personal about you or who you are? And can you allow yourself to just let that go as best you can? And can you notice the anticipation that you have about the future? That there's somehow that you're anticipating the anxiety to be there. And what's interesting too is that we only know what's currently in this moment. We can't even predict our next thought, let alone predict what's going to happen in a job interview or anything, any type of future event. It's almost like worrying creates that sense of we can anticipate how we're going to feel. So, could you just let that go? Could you let go of wanting to be the one who has that sense of fear or anxiety about that job interview or that event that may be happening in the future? Can you just allow yourself to let that go? And imagine a beautiful soap bubble, just a beautiful soap bubble, and allow yourself to place any anticipation, any anxiety, any thoughts about the future. Can you just allow yourself to put them all in that beautiful, beautiful soap bubble and allow yourself to just let that go? Let that bubble just float away and just let it disappear up into the sky. Okay, great. So, Tony, I want to totally wish you the best of luck in your job interview. I hope it goes really well, and please keep in touch and let me know how it goes. Okay, so I'm going to open it up one more time if there's any questions or comments or anything that you'd like to share. If not, I do want to remind you again that for February, I do have the special for the Clear Path Forward sessions. Just go to bit.ly/clearpath45 and you'll be able to book a 45-minute session with me for $97. And it is valid for everyone that does it for the first time. So if you've already taken advantage of one of those calls, I would just suggest that you allow others to have that opportunity. So this offer is good until the end of February, till February 28th. So I look forward to connecting with you and have an amazing, recharged and released, a beautiful day. And I look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks when I have the next free release and recharge call. So talk to you soon. Bye for now.